My Twitch chat and I having a dispute regarding a certain item in Satisfactory. There's no way we need so many screws. That's not the point. Nein, no, no, no. We don't need so many screws. Screw me. Stop it. Since this dispute hasn't existed since yesterday, screws are completely unnecessary in the game. I thought so. Hey, you want screws? Then you should get screws. How many? All of them! I'm Chaos6099 and welcome to how I made 2 million screws per minute. Well, I had to start somewhere with this project. At the beginning, I completely underestimated the fact that I would have to produce 2 million screws. That's why a lot of things are missing in the first build-up section. At this point, update 7 was still current, but update 8 was already lurking around the corner. At first, I thought I could do this without mods, because once update 8 would be available, there won't be any mods to make my life easier for a while. That's why this first section in phase 1 is so detailed. Just imagine what doesn't go into the normal blueprinter. I packaged a lot of unnecessary details into the blueprints. That's why this save game is so extremely big. But I didn't know any of that at the time and just started building it, which was already very monotonous and regularly almost made me fall asleep. But eventually I finished it at a steady pace. Of course, I had already reached Unreal's object limit here. I think it was the second or third floor, so I raised the limit and continued. Arriving here a little smarter from the first phase, a larger blueprinter was needed. This mod relieved me of a lot of work, but also given me new one. So the first large print, constructed in 3 parts, completed and tested. Anyone who thinks that would take 10 minutes and the thing would be finished is very wrong. A good 2 to 3 hours passed for all the prints that I built afterwards so that I could rule out any errors. At least I thought that all errors were ruled out. Then the prints that I had to make were placed in the new save and loaded into my save game as a mega print using the Satisfactory calculator. Here, as in phase 2, I also started preparing a print. What I have to say right away is that I wouldn't do a structure or design like that a second time. With the third factory that I had completed, I was at least finished building the factories for the time being. Now I had to take care of the raw materials. Ensuring the raw materials at this point in time was poorly thought out by me because the frames per second were already very low. but I still got all necessary raw materials onto belts and into the trains in the grassland, rocky desert, red forest, crater, swamp, in the desert and on the edges of the Titan forest. The rail network was completed, all trains were named and all signals were set. Now all I had to do was build, connect and distribute all conveyor belts and pipes for the oil. My God, I don't know why I came up with the idea of laying a total of 1,300 kilometers of conveyor belts. It will be fun, they said, right? Of course, I tried to work with blueprints here too, but even these were only a small drop in the ocean. However, after what felt like an eternity, even this work was finished and I could finally move on to the final phase. Finally, all I had to do was give all the trains a station, rails, containers and liquid storage, and then I could turn on all the machines and the screw nightmare would finally be over. However, a huge problem arose. Due to loading screens that sometimes took over 10 minutes to even open a save file, there were regularly accidents with the trains, signals no longer worked, and so on. I was able to get it working again to a certain extent, filling up all the containers and storage. However, there wasn't enough to run all the machines at the same time so that this peak of around 4 million points could be seen. Failure is not an option, and I said to myself, you can do it. Guess what happened then? Exactly, I did the whole thing again, but more on this in the next part.